Hi guys, this is Dan K for Techniqualities and I'll be reviewing the brand new P30 from Huawei. I'm well aware it ain't gonna be officially available in the States, but being one of the most advanced and most beautiful phones in the world, we gave it a go. No ifs and buts, it's just brilliant. Full stop. Huawei already sold about 16 million P20s, which is impressive for a not-so-cheap phone. So what's the main weapon for the new one? It's the same as the old one, the camera. On the P30 we have a quad camera module, but it's surprisingly well integrated on the back, non-intrusive, even elegant. And it packs a lot of firepower. A 40 megapixel 27mm f1.6 main camera, a 20 megapixel f2.2 16mm wide angle and an 8 megapixel periscopic f3.4 125mm telephoto, giving the phone a serious 5x optical zoom. And if that wasn't enough, they also added a time-of-flight depth sensing camera for a better and more natural bokeh effect, and also for a new measure tool and for AR effects. The smaller sibling, the P30, has just 3 cameras, the 40 megapixel main camera but with a slightly weaker f1.8 exposure, a 16 instead of a 20 megapixel f2.2 wide angle and an 8 megapixel telephoto f2.4 capable of just 3x optical zoom. Another first is the replacement of the green pixels of the RGB color scheme with some yellow ones, this pattern being called RYYB. I don't know much about this, but we will investigate. And last but not least, the low-light capabilities were ramped up from a mere 102,400 on the P20 Pro up to 409,600 ISO. That's Sony full-frame A7S territory. Were the images good or at least usable? Oh yes, they were. We pushed it to the very limits and it's astonishing how little light is this phone using to be able to see in the dark. And that in the Pro mode, in which, when you pass the 6400 ISO limit, you have no control of the other settings or a preview of what you shoot. In the automatic photo mode, the camera does a more than decent job in low light conditions, but if you're still not satisfied with it, you also got a dedicated night mode, shooting more photos at different exposure levels and then merging them into one image to rule them all. Back to the zoom capabilities, P30 Pro provides a 5x optical zoom, a 10x hybrid zoom, good enough according to our tests, and a staggering 50x digital zoom, which probably nobody will use. One interesting gimmick is that the ultra-wide-angle camera is capable of macro photography from a respectable 2.5 cm distance. Just look, it's brilliant. The main camera benefits of optical stabilization, unlike the rest of the module, but it should be enough for most of the shooting scenarios. And the video mode. Finally, it got the attention it deserves. It now boasts both an electronic, aka artificial intelligence stabilization, and the old-school reliable optical stabilization. The low-light capabilities were also extended in the video mode, same with the 5x optical zoom. Okay, we'll stop here with the camera unless you want us to talk about it till next week. The second and equally important aspect is the design of the thing. We have no less than 5 superb colors: pearl white, breathing crystal, black, amber sunrise, aurora and black. That breathing crystal color is gorgeous and the build quality is on par. On the opposite side, we got a 6.1 OLED Full HD screen on P30 and a 6.47-inch OLED Full HD curved display on the Pro. Both of them sport a 32 megapixel f2.0 selfie camera, which is great. It's not exactly a fancy 2-camera setup, but the software bokeh looks good enough and it gains in terms of sheer resolution, speed and light. And now the news. It's hidden in a very discreet and fashionable water drop notch placed in the middle of the upper screen. For some, this may be a better option than Samsung's Infinity O lateral punch in the screen, at least for the sake of symmetry. And the goodies regarding the screen area don't stop here. We got an in-display fingerprint sensor, which we tested thoroughly again and again, and it worked great every time. What about the battery? A 3650 mAh unit on the P30 and a 4200 battery on the Pro, 40 watts supercharge and 15 watts wireless charging, the last feature being available only on the Pro. Another notable difference is the water and dustproof standard, IP68 on the Pro model versus IP53 on the smaller one. In the engine bay, we got the 7 nano already known and tested Kirin 980, accompanied by 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage on the P30, and 8GB of RAM with 128, 256 and 512 versions on the Pro. I liked it. In a few words, it's robust, it's beautiful and powerful. It's a serious challenger for any iPhone or Samsung out there. P10 was a decent phone, P20 was a good one, but P30 seems to be in a different league. It's amazing how fast Huawei is bridging the gap. Oh, and there's also a new watch we couldn't care less about. They say it's better than the previous one. Was there a previous one? So that was it. If you enjoyed this short walkthrough, subscribe to our young channel, and I promise you there's more to come. Thank you all.